just spilled carrot juice all over my desk, so that's why it's orange. It should be white. So today's video is very important to me because it's a realization I had. Do you suffer from the not enough syndrome? I suffer from the not enough syndrome. I'm still recovering from it. Has been a big part of my life. I never realized it up until recently. I think like I had other things. I knew that there were some type of roots in my life that I carried from my childhood that were affecting me in every single way. Every single way. However, I didn't know to what extent it was affecting me. And I journal a lot. I write a lot. I read a lot. And I'm always like aware, I guess you can say. Anyway, so I came with the realization that I had the not enough syndrome. First thing, how did I find out that I had the not enough syndrome? So I started journaling. I had a notebook, ran a notebook, and I was like, okay, so now that I know that there's something wrong with me, because I fell into a really deep hole in my life where I was depressed. I was always having anxiety. I was stressed. And with all of that being said, I just want you guys to know that I am a Christian. I believe in God. I believe God's word is truth. I'm not saint. I'm no saint. I do mess up. I make a lot of mistakes. And yes. So I basically started journaling for like 2 to 3, I think it was like a period of 2 weeks that it only took me to find out that I was suffering from the not enough syndrome. My first purpose for the not enough syndrome exercise, the journaling exercise, was to just write down my thoughts, only my negative thoughts, every single day for a period of a month, I think I was, but it only took me 2 to 3 weeks to say, girl, you're messed up. So I started day 1, day 2, and I started to be very honest with myself, because when you have those negative thoughts in your mind, at first it's like, okay, they're in the mind, they're really bad thoughts, but when you write them down, they sound horrible, and sometimes it's hard to write them down. So I think it even helped to just write them down, because it made me not even want to think about those thoughts anymore. I did it for, like I said, a period of like 2 weeks, and once I kind of like something just went click in my mind. So I was going through the thoughts for like the whole like time that I had written. Up until that time, I was like, okay, let me just read these thoughts. And I was like, ugh. I was like almost like cringing. Like I was just like, man, oof, who is that thinking all of that? It was just me. So I went through the thoughts, and something like just said, Carla, every single thought that you're having has the same root. And it was crazy to me, because at that time I was very into, well, I have always been into getting to the root of things, but at that time I was like, I'm gonna get to the root of this. I'm gonna see what thoughts I'm having, and I'm gonna replace them with the truth. That was the whole point, for me to have see what thoughts I was gonna have and replacing it with the truth, to identify which ones were lies and which ones were not, So anyways, so it all clicked. And I was like, every single thought that you're having is rooted to the thought that you're not enough. That was like a slap in the face, but it was such a good slap, because it woke me up. I was literally, I was raised, when I was little, I was raised as a child. There was always this whole phrase that freaking stuck with me for so long, and it was, there's not enough money. So that was like my first, I think, like encounter with the not enough feel and worry, perhaps. But basically, when we were younger, my parents will use this phrase whenever we wanted something and it was like a toy or whatever and they didn't have money for it. I know that they could have probably done a different phrase, but I don't know, maybe they didn't know how powerful words were and how much they could affect us, or maybe it was just like a thing, whatever, I don't know, but they will use this phrase, there's not enough money. So, I grew up with that relationship with money. I had a really negative relationship with money, but I didn't know, because I was always a saver and I was always very good with money. But my whole relationship with money was actually the fear of not having enough. So I would cling to money, and it was crazy because I was always thinking about scarcity, not abundance in my life. And God wanted to speak abundance in my life, but I was thinking scarcity because that's how I have been taught. And so throughout my life, every single thing is like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not fit enough, I'm not healthy enough, and the list goes on. And then the external factors, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough food, there's not enough food to feed all these people that just came over and didn't announce them. All those thoughts were always running throughout my head, but I just thought it was like a normal thing. But sometimes these thoughts were triggering like anxiety and stress and feeling like uneasy. And obviously it affected my relationships, it affected my friendships, it affected my everything in my life. It's crazy. So that's how I came about knowing that I was suffering from the not enough syndrome. So now what did I do to get away from the mindset and go into the mindset of abundance and what I call the millionaire mindset? So basically I started replacing those thoughts with the truth. I started my prayers started to change from, God, please deliver me from this anxiety, this stress, to, God, please show me what I'm doing. Please show me where I'm focusing on. And that's when I did this. I started doing the journaling thing. But then after that, I started to just put my focus in the truth of God. And God was just like, I have all of this for you if you only would just accept it. And I wasn't accepting that because I was telling God, like, I believe you. No, I was like basically saying, I believe in God. I love God. I was reading the word, my prayers, but I don't believe you, God. In a way, I was kind of telling God that, and I felt like it was kind of like insulting God, like, God, I don't believe you. I know you say that you love me. I know you say that I'm blessed and highly favored, that I have abundance in my life, that I will continue, that you have a plan and a purpose for my life. Like all these things and all this truth that I had perhaps like read about and that I supposedly knew about, but I didn't believe it for myself. So I started to really replace the lies that I was focusing on with the truth of God in my life, and that completely changed my life because I started to see so much abundance in my life. I started to see so much more money flow. I started to see that I really had nothing to worry about, and that is the beauty of it, guys. And I am by no means perfect, by no means a millionaire, but I do feel so much better. There is so much peace in my life right now. I struggle with certain things in my life, juggling life, work, family, friends. I do. I'm still working on it. But basically, I started to replace all those lies with the truth of God. I started to meditate. I started to do repetitive scriptures throughout the day. I would open my eyes. This is something that I do. I don't know why I'm saying like I would. I still do. I wake up in the morning, and before even having my quiet time with God, I would just open my eyes, and then I would start saying the scripture like, I can do all things through God who strengthens me. And I would say that a lot of times. And I actually I think I watched a YouTube video of this girl, and she said that she would do that before she even got out of bed. So I started doing that, and it freaking helps. And sometimes meditating for whatever time I could afford. If I could afford 20 minutes, I would do 20 minutes. If I could afford 15, 30, whatever. And then what I would do is I would sometimes just focus in that scripture and that truth of God that maybe I'm struggling to receive, and just allow myself to listen to my inner voice and just let go and let God. Really, it was very freeing, honestly. And I know that you guys can receive this freedom and this peace, and it's really given to you already. You just have to take it. For me, I went through this whole process. I felt like God was just like guiding me the way, and like, okay, do this, Carla, like do that. Not like I heard like a quickie voice, but it was just like I started to really be like praying about it and like asking God, like, I don't want to have all this anxiety anymore. I don't want to be depressed anymore. I want to be happy. I know you want me to be happy. I know that like I have so much more. I know that I can do so much more. So the not enough syndrome was like you know, it was like beating me up, and I was like, no, you're not gonna beat me up. I'm gonna beat you up, and you know, finally. So if you're suffering from the not enough syndrome today, I just want to say that you're loved, you're blessed, you're highly favored, and I highly suggest that you do a journaling exercise. I highly suggest that you at least do it for 2 weeks so that you can see consistent thoughts, and then you can get back to the roots. I also suggest that you guys will write before you start journaling, that you will write what your purpose is with this exercise. So like, let's just say you're having a lot of anxiety, or you're having a lot of stress in your life, some things are not adding up, or you just can't seem to just let God come in. I highly suggest that you guys would just start writing down and be honest with yourself, be honest with God, and maybe be honest with someone else, and reach out. You're not alone. Even when you think you're alone, you're never alone. God's always with us. Sometimes it just takes for us to be aware of it and to recognize and to acknowledge Him. That's all He's asking for, and to trust Him and have faith in Him. So I really hope that this video will help some people out there that are suffering from the not enough syndrome, and that you guys can just get out of that mindset. And I hope that you guys get healed from this mindset, because it really kills purpose, and it does steal a lot of it basically steals and kills and destroys purpose. So you know that it's coming from the enemy, although it's not enough, that he's constantly whispering to you that you're not enough. And maybe it was something that it started to happen recently. It might have been something that happened to you before that always stuck with you, and you may not even be aware of it. And this is why I suggest the journaling exercise, because even if it's not the not enough syndrome, there may be a deeper root that is causing all your negative thoughts, that are then causing anxiety, that are then causing stress, that are then causing physical illness, that are then causing, it's just causing so much bad stuff for you guys that it's not worth it. It's worth the work that it takes to get to the roots of it. So I just hope that you guys get to the root of it before you get to the fruit, get to the roots. Okay, guys? Bye.